Ladies, gentlemen, and Haradrim of all ages, there's something I need to talk about that won't take too long, but if you listen, your damage and comfort in Diablo 4 Season 2 is going to go up significantly. It's something that we talked about very early on in the season, but then most people moved away from it, and, well, I'm here to tell you it's ridiculously worth using in proper endgame builds. What is that then? It is Hemomancy, one of the seasonal vampiric powers that we only have until the end of January. This power makes it so once every 4 seconds when you use any ability, any skill, you deal physical damage equal to 80% of your maximum life in a surprisingly large radius around you, often hitting things that aren't even on your actual screen. Early on in your leveling journey, this is really great just because it scales better than most damage effects early on, but once you get into proper builds, it starts to fall behind a little bit around the 50 to 60 mark. That is, unless you consider its existence while putting your build together, and you're at a high enough level that you actually get to choose your affixes. Because while Hemomancy may not be the trick to the best tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon or Uber Boss killing builds, it is the absolute greatest secret that I can share with you to make speed farming content an absolute breeze, no matter what the rest of your build is, because the only thing that you truly need to make Hemomancy crazy is to get bonus maximum life rolls on every equipment piece that can have it. And the beauty of doing that is, of course, it makes you way tankier as you do so. So here I am, level 93 with 15,000 life, add on 500 from the incense to get to 15.5k, 20% from the fortitude potion puts that at close to 19,000, and of course there is still around 300 life missing per level and an extra 8% that I could also be getting from remaining Paragon glyphs. But the point is, if you really purposely go out of your way for maximum life, you can get 20k relatively easily on a max level character if you use an elixir. 80% of 20,000 is 16,000 base damage. The thing is, that's not all it does, because this then also scales off of any of your damage modifiers that don't specify otherwise, meaning it doesn't scale with something like damage with core skills, but does with damage to close or distant enemies depending on the range it hits them at. On top of that, it also scales with your legendary and unique effects that don't specify a specific type of skill or anything like that. If it just says it boosts your damage or it boosts damage in a situation, if you enter that situation with Hemomancy, it will work, which means in general, for an average player, you can easily see numbers of up to 50k or higher at maximum level with the affixes that I mentioned, and 50,000 damage to everything on your screen once every 4 seconds is a really nasty pop to be able to do. But then there are other ways to augment it too. Hemomancy as a power isn't affected by crit chance, so you cannot get a natural crit with it, but some classes have unique ways to force critical hits that actually do affect Hemomancy, which then makes it scale with both your crit strike damage and the crit strike 50% multiplier, and that's why you see me occasionally hitting enemies for something like 140k. But even just casually with no setup, if I'm just walking around playing my build like normal with Hemomancy in, I can walk around doing over 100k per Hemomancy pop, 76,000 even if I do no setup at all. And the beauty of this, of course, is that it applies to dungeons, it applies to Helltides, to Blood Harvest, as long as you aren't doing content where an average mob has more than Hemomancy's damage, which is actually the vast majority of content. If you build like this, you can just have your life living around, just walking, maybe using an ability to make yourself unstoppable to activate Tybalt Will's bonus damage, and then just pop a skill to launch Hemomancy. That will clear out everything less than an elite in a single hit, and it is the simplest, most comfortable thing I've ever experienced. Later today, I'll be going over a rogue build that I made specifically to really maximize this in combination with some super hefty single targets. That's what you've been seeing in the background. But even before showing you all the beauty of that, I just wanted to make a video that could hopefully appeal to not only the people who play rogue, but to all players of Season 2, because even without the forced crit that rogue gets, Hemomancy is a massive addition to your gameplay, giving you massive pops of damage on every enemy on screen, and sometimes even past that range every 4 seconds. Every 4 seconds. This isn't a rare occurrence, it doesn't only happen once per enemy, and the beauty of that timer is if you get the hit high enough that it one-shots little enemies, the vast majority of the time, that 4-second timer is just spent walking around to the next group of enemies, so it's not even like you were sitting around waiting for it. That's basically all I wanted to say here, really, today. Hey, just Hemomancy is really good. I recommend it for early leveling gameplay, and I am recommending it even more for super high level gameplay, especially in the speed farming department. There's just nothing more comfortable than this, and all it takes is the use of that vampiric power and some max life bonuses on top, which honestly you probably want anyways. Extra points if you have something like Doombringer, for example, to stick on it for a massive percent based max life bonus too, and that would just really take this to the moon. I wish I had it myself, as it would be an incredibly large bonus, but I'm still really happy with the numbers that I'm getting from the absolute breeze that it has made same or even near same level content with 15 level, 20 level above dungeons just still getting one shot by this effect. I hope you've all enjoyed this breakdown then, and definitely you should try using this this power out again if you happen to be one of the people who had shelved it in the meantime. With a little work on your gear affixes, it can become one of the strongest parts of your kit. Let me know once you try it out for yourself, or just join me in singing its praises if you already know of its power and you want to just tell others how good it is too. Like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.